Hi everybody, Glenn Giordano here again. This is going to be kind of a fun little quick lesson because the other one was so intense, the last one I gave, and if you are studying with me at all, you need to go over that last lesson a lot. That has to be a staple for you for the rest of your life. Today I call this lesson the right way to leave your lover. And so yeah, I am going to be going over the groove for 50 ways to leave your lover. I've had some requests for this and I want to answer those requests. But I want to talk about something a little more important than just the notes that I'm going to play for the groove. I want to talk about the essence. Now, many times, and this is about being a professional player, many times when I'm on the way to a gig, I get a phone call on the way to the gig. Hey, I think we're going to try this song tonight. Let's see if we can get through it. You might want to listen to it up before you get here. So I'm actually in the car, looking it up on YouTube, listening to what was done. So I may not be able to catch every little thing the drummer does, and I'm really not interested, but I am interested in catching the essence of what he did. So what is the essence? Let's talk about that in the context of 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. By the way, as an aside, even I play with a Beatles tribute band. We don't wear the costumes and stuff, and I do the same thing with that tribute band. I get a lot of compliments on how I capture the details of what Ringo did, but truth be told, between you and I really do probably about 40%, maybe even less on some tunes, of what Ringo actually did, and I kind of do my own twist, but I do capture the essence, and then those moments where Ringo does something very important to the song, I do those. And it's perceived as I'm nailing Ringo's parts, and this is what will happen to you if you do what I'm telling you. Now, I don't have time to learn everybody's drum part exactly the way they did it, and I don't have much of an interest, but I do have an interest in learning the essence of what they did. So, in this song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, the first thing we hear is the feeling that's being captured by Steve Gadd. You know this song. It's a little military thing between the hi-hat and the snare. I'm going to just play it outright for you, and then we're going to backtrack and talk about the feelings and the essence. Okay? So here's the basic idea. That's the basic groove. Okay, but what I want you to catch from that is the feeling I'm giving it. He's not going da 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 boom da 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 da, right? He's not on top of it, and he's not really being like dead center metronomic. It's a now, even if I mess up a little bit in the actual technique of the thing, but I'm capturing, I'm capturing that slight shuffle, right? He's really almost tying those 16 notes. But even you really couldn't even say that. He's somewhere between, he's not going, but he's doing, he's definitely giving this groove a little breath. It's got time and breath. It's not very strict. Okay, so if I'm capturing that, and even if I'm messing up with some of the little nuances of the groove, the general public's not going to catch it, and most likely the guy who hired me is not going to catch it. And I may find in what I'm doing my own little version. Now, I did see Gadd do this several times in clinics, and obviously the recording and then the YouTube things. And I'm going to tell you the truth, I've never seen him do it exactly the same way twice. He always does slight little variations. So let's talk about what he's actually doing. We're starting on the and of 4, right? A pick up to the bar, and he's doing like a 5-stroke roll, but he's leaving out 1. At least as far as I can tell, and that's the way I play it. So it's and 1 is the foot. And 1, right? So, I mean, I could add my left. I'm left-handed, I'm leading with my left. But to me, it sounds freer, a little more linear, just a little groovier when I leave it out. Plus, he comes up on the E of 1 on the hi-hat. It gives me a little extra time. Right? E N. He's not doing this. It's And that and is the first little accent. But these are not ridiculously crazy accents. These are light, sort of breathy, definitely a little more forced, but not too hard, okay? Now, the cool thing, he's got that and he does it as an accent. Now he does a foot stomp on the duh of one. Watch. And I went further. To the end. E, but to the end. E, but to the end. E, but to the end. That foot stomp on the duh, that is signature Gadd. Signature Gadd. You put that in, now you're in Gadd's house. That's the Gadd house. So those are little things, and if you follow a guy like Gadd, and I follow several drummers, really closely. I followed Vinny, and Weckel's always been one of my favorites, Rick Murata. I'm a little old school. I don't follow some of the new guys, and that's kind of wrong. I should follow them closer. Jojo Manor probably is the newest guy that I follow a little more closely. As far as Nate Smith, I do follow a lot. I love Nate Smith, but I don't really ever have to play his kind of stuff because I don't get to do that much jazz. So that foot stomp of Gadd, if you go on and you listen to a lot of his stuff, he's always throwing it in. Somewhere it's in his interest, and in his more interesting grooves, it usually shows up. So now we've got, and I like to accent that last and, right? I like to accent it. To be honest with you, I don't know if that's a me thing or a Gadd thing. Now we got 3 on the bass drum. Essentially, that is the groove. 4, you add the floor tom or the rack tom both together. You can do them as flams. Sometimes he adds a 3 on the rack. He does this. You can do it that way, one and then the other, right? Now, the only thing he adds, and he does it not all the time, but sometimes, it might be every 4 bars. And I like that I'm teaching this to you and I haven't listened to it in a while, because this is what I'm talking about. If I were to play this tonight, people would think that I was channeling Gadd on this, right? But I'm not. I'm doing Gled's interpretation of what I remember Gadd to be doing, what I've seen, and what I have worked on. In the past, I did work on this groove. But I'm not going to play it for the people note for note. I love Steve Gadd. I've said it many times, but I have no interest in being Steve Gadd. I'm Glen. And I'm going to do this a way that works, and it works for me. The last thing he does, as I want to get to it, is he does this sort of 30-second notes, and then he does 16 notes. It's 4 E and the, right? And he doesn't do it all the time, maybe every 4th bar, right? So watch how I slip it in. He also accents that 4. Again, that's that one gentleman on YouTube calls it the jab punch. I don't like that phrase. I like to call it throw drop, right? But that is the groove. If you do that, and it might be a little quicker than that, people will think you're channeling Gadd. And that foot stomp is a good chop to work on. Anyway, the more important thing to get out of this lesson is the essence. Even if you play this really different. Let me just play it slightly different for you. That is a different version of that groove, right? And I was just kind of pulling it out of my head because I'm so used, and I even once went back to the old way because I'm so used to doing it the way that I do it, because I do play that song on a regular basis, or at least I did. If you pulled out that version but you were keeping that essence, but that kind of feeling, that flowing feeling, people would think you were nailing the Steve Gadd groove, even though you weren't actually doing it right. So that's what I'm talking about. You can do your version of things, but the essence must be there. It must be there. If you're covering a song, you should capture the essence. If you're covering a Police song, you should cover the essence of what Stewie was doing. If you're covering a Beatles song, there is an essence of what Ringo is doing. And we can get into that in each player. And I'm going to try over the course of the next year to highlight different players. And obviously I've highlighted Gadd a bit. We're going to do some more with Gadd because there is definitely a way that he plays, which will help you. It will help you as a go-to sometimes when you can't think of anything. I know when I'm accused of this is both a negative and a positive for me. Sometimes when I don't know what to play, I think, I put my Gadd hat on and I think maybe how would Gadd approach this. Sometimes that works for me, and I've been criticized because I did that. So just being upfront about it. Anyway, I hope this helps you in your professional journey on how to, the beginning of how to capture the essence of playing a groove. Anyway, we're all the same, folks. Everybody's the same. Please treat everybody with love and respect. You don't know what they've been through. Live well. Be well.